I'm Drake Nix with Drake Nix Vision, and welcome to my channel. I'm here with my piebald ball python Naga. She often joins me for this channel, and today I just want to go into a little bit of flow. I want to get into flow state and talk about whatever wants to come through. As a holistic educator and soul guide, I help people to understand what it means to become a whole person and to embody their divine templates that they're meant to live into through the course of their life to be of best service to humanity. All my sessions really look different with every person because I'm intuitively just stepping in. I don't have a game plan. There's no script. I sit down, I look at the person's energy field, I'm guiding them through a meditation, so I'm looking at where their blocks are, and then through that, different things pop up. So sometimes I'm giving them a reading, I'm seeing, an energy that's connected to their past, I'm seeing something that they're holding on to right now, or I start channeling and there's just something from their higher self that wants to come through and I allow it to move through. And so I think what I actually want to talk to you guys about today is what it is to be intuitive, because I know that all of us have the ability to have these types of gifts, whether you're clairaudient or clairvoyant or clairsentient. So clairaudient is like you hear certain things, which I don't actually hear a lot. I hear frequency, and like even right now there's like a sizzling going on, or I can like adjust to hear certain types of frequencies. If my higher self is trying to tell me something, the frequency will change to get my attention. Clairsentient is when you feel. I'm definitely a feeler. I definitely can feel things here, but I also feel things here. It's like Pan's Labyrinth style. Like I got like eyeballs on my fingers. So every time I do a session, I'm doing all kinds of this kind of thing because I'm feeling through energy. I can feel blocks. I can feel like pain. Woo. Sometimes I'm like working on somebody. I'm like feeling like some crazy energy coming off of them, and I'm like flinging it out because I like don't want it going into my system. Or I'm like seeing, I'm seeing with my third eye. So that's clairvoyant. So I see metaphor and I see all kinds of really cool things that are coming through that's telling me about that person. I'm seeing images from their childhood or things that they're currently working on. I can see those things. Like it literally is like these images that come through, these energies that come through that help me to put together the pieces between what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling to get to the root of what that person is going through and what's keeping them from being in their greatest alignment. For me to do that and how I came into that, I had my initial awakening back in 2009, and I could definitely feel the energies and see the energies then. I think I already could see the energies before that time period. I could like see wisps of energy moving from my hands, and I would try to move things across the room because it was so strong. And I thought there was no way I couldn't move something across the room because, how can you not when you have this type of energy flowing through you? Of course, I've never actually moved anything across the room, but I found in time that I do have great healing abilities, and I can use Reiki or other types of intuitive healing as I work over people's energy fields to move the energy and to align the energy, to activate the energy. And so it's taken me a long time to develop those gifts. Around the time period that I went through my awakening, I met my mentor, Jo Beth, and I think I was 19, and I went through the Reiki training that she offered at that time, and I got certified into a master Reiki practitioner. And then some years went by, and I used it a little bit, but not really. And I think, because that time period was so hard and there wasn't a lot of people around me who understood me, and so I closed off and I really tried to fit in a little bit more, which was very hard. I'm a very eccentric person, and it's very hard to hide my eccentricities or to hide even my spirituality, because my spirituality is very much a part of who I am. And back then it was not cool. I think like now it's like trendy, and like we've definitely capitalized on it a little bit. It's a lot easier to step into this life than it used to. And so I went through a long period of time where I kind of ignored it. And it was only when I would drink, I'd like get my whiskey drunk and be like, oh, hey, you want a reading? And I'd give people readings and like not remember it. And they'd come back to me like days later or weeks later, and they're like, hey, you gave me that reading that one time and you said this about me and it was so true and this thing happened. And I'm like, cool guy, like I don't remember that. But I didn't have any faith in my ability to give readings until I had some drinks. And it wasn't until I started working with my mentor again a few years ago, where she started doing sessions with me and leading me through my inner landscapes and giving me more tools in order to just have faith that I knew what I was doing. Very quickly, within a couple of months of working with her, I started doing sessions for other people, probably within 4 months of working with her. And I sat sat down and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to do what Jo Beth does with me. And I started and immediately I was like, oh, actually I have another idea. And oh, I'm actually seeing this. And oh, I should try this. And it became so natural. And it was like a conversation with the universe, where the universe just took my hand and guided me and showed me how to do it. And I didn't have to follow a script. I didn't have to get certified in anything of like, this is the way you do it. Because I think that with this type of gift, with intuitive abilities, there is a medicine inside of you that nobody else can claim. Like, you have to go through your own initiations and your own learning in order to like really dig it out. You know, I'm not gonna like invoke a dark night of the soul for you, or I'm not gonna put the next person in your life that is going to be the catalyst for, you know, your next awakening. I don't have that power, and you don't either. You know, it's just a matter of being in flow, and slowly over time, as you go through those big experiences, it unlocks things within you. So I want you to get comfortable with this idea that there is no script. And with, you know, intuitive abilities, play with your friends, you know, sit them down, do tarot cards, you know, feel it out. Maybe you'll find, like me, you feel things, and it's actually really helpful to have your hands out. You know, if people are sitting in front of me, then I'm using my hands to look around. Or if I'm just trying to like look at a certain situation, I can use my feelers, and sometimes I don't even have to. Sometimes I can just tap into it and ask the question, and I'm going to get an answer. Sometimes that's what it is. Like, you just have to ask the question. And you have to be in tune and aligned to actually hear what comes in response. I think too, as we're like working with our spiritual gifts and our intuitive abilities, it comes with time as you sit with meditation. And a lot of us don't take the time to meditate as much as we could, to begin removing the old mind, you know, of like how things should be, how we think that they are. You know, when you sit down and you meditate, you're like, oh, my mind's doing this right now. Is my mind supposed to be doing that right now? And you realize you have all these judgments about your mind. You know, that's just the beginning of it. But in time, as you start to see that you have all these judgments, those judgments come out in your everyday speech and like how you interact with people. But you begin to see that you have the judgments. You start to get critical about the judgments. You start to realize what your values are that created the judgment in the first place. And then you redefine your values and you redefine your judgments, and maybe you take the judgments away, and then you allow the judgments to just fade, and then you don't have them anymore, and then you really open up because you can see all kinds of connections that people never saw before, because the judgments about how we thought the world worked was actually getting in the way of us seeing properly, because it's all about clear sight, true vision. We're doing our work to remove the barriers so that we can step into flow, so that we can be a truly fluid channel for other people, and so that we can mirror back their divine light. Because that's what this is too, is that, you know, as I rise, we rise. As I figure out my spiritual path, and as I rise into my best self, I give you permission to do the same, because I want to see you flourish. I want to see you grow. I want to see you meet me and come to me and be like, hey, Drake, I'm coming into like my best self, and I have all these things to offer to the world, and I hear you're running these events, and can I take part? Heck yeah. Like, I want to see you have responsibility and leadership, and I want you to see yourself respected, and I want you to have belonging in the world. You know, I want to create those opportunities for you, just like I hope you create those opportunities for other people. You know, this is a collaborative process of coming together into our best selves as human beings, as spiritual beings, as brothers and sisters, as connected individuals on this planet. So as you're developing your intuition, allow yourself to play, allow yourself to feel, and figure out what is your way of sensing into those other dimensions, because my way is not your way. And I'm so excited to see the ways that you step into your path and what comes out of it and what you find out. I hope you find success in becoming a healer in whatever way that looks for you. So maybe it is that you are working with energy and healing people, but also the way that you step out into the world and you heal through, you know, being a leader, working with the environment, working with people, working with business, helping us to steer towards a more sustainable and regenerative future, because it is possible and it is needed. We need you guys so much. Much love to everybody. If you've liked what you've heard today, please subscribe below. Check out my website, www.drakenextvision.com. You can also get in touch with me about doing one-on-one sessions. You are doing so amazing, and I'm so thankful that you are here doing the work that you're doing. I am so proud of you. I look forward to seeing you guys next time.